fatigue can't tell the time. That's the biggest thing.
Well, fatigue is really your mind's not on the job. You're tired. It's just really you're not capable of doing the job you've been given to do.
And when do you feel most fatigued?
I would say if for any reasons can be a repetitive work, like so in regards to like driving the truck, short trips, and it's just round and round and round and round and round and round. Nothing changes. It's just and towards the end of the day, you become what I call brain dead, and and it is to the point you think, I just want this day to be over with. You've had enough. It's and especially if you're in heavy traffic, stop-start traffic all day for maybe the 9, 10, 12 hours, whatever is involved in the job.
It's up to the driver to understand that, hey, my concentration levels, my driving ability, and my decision making is below what I would normally be. I'm starting to get fatigued, and then make the call on when you need a break there. If we've had a big week, by the time we start getting to the Thursday and the Friday, I usually find first thing in the morning, still a little bit fatigued. In a working week, the hours from 50 to 72, I find are probably the most, fatigued. And I don't think you become that productive in those hours. You're sort of just keeping a seat warm.
Tired, I guess. That's one word to describe fatigue. Stress. But it's when my mind starts to wander, and you forget where you're going. When you start to forget things, I'm like, is this old age or what? Then I have to look at my my bloody the electronics in here to see where I'm going, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then you snap out of it, and you're like, oh, yeah, I think I need a break.
I'm actually a type 2 diabetic these days. So I've got to watch my diet and that sort of thing, because that has a big bearing on fatigue. Being type 2, if I stopped and bought something with a lot of carbs, it makes you feel crap and sleepy too.
Fatigue is also known as a silent killer. It impairs decision-making, affects performance, slows reaction times, and reduces the ability to control emotions. On the road, it can affect lane tracking, speed maintenance, and alertness, all contributing to crash risk. Fatigue is known to contribute to 20 to 30% of all road deaths and severe injuries. And in 2020, 8% of all large truck loss crashes were caused by fatigue. Heavy vehicle operators are at high risk of developing fatigue that may even be chronic, affecting them physically, cognitively, and emotionally. For instance, sleepiness has been linked to reduced alertness and slower reaction times, resulting in greater crash risk. Driving for more than 4 hours without rest doubles crash risk, and a work shift of greater than 12 hours means a 2 to 4-fold increase in risk. It's also been found that drivers with only 4 to 5 hours sleep in the past 24 hours are more than 4.5 times more likely to crash than those getting a good 7 hours or more of sleep. As you become more tired, the risk increases, and this includes when you get behind the wheel after your shift. And it doesn't just stop at crash risk. There's evidence that shift workers are more likely to skip meals and make poorer food choices. Combined with a sleep deficiency, this can mean a higher incidence of obesity and the development of chronic diseases such as type 2 diabetes. So, as a driver, what can you do to minimise the risk of fatigue? Be aware of sleep loss and quality and extended working hours, including your commute. Look for warning signs like difficulty in maintaining focus and concentration, struggling to keep your eyes open, and having less tolerance for other road users. Keep to your fatigue management plan with regular and restful breaks of at least 15 to 20 minutes every 2 hours. And prioritise quality sleep and avoid stimulating the brain before bedtime by putting aside the electronics and perhaps dimming the lights. Don't shortchange yourself on sleep. Aim for at least 7 hours. It's how the body and brain regulates and repairs itself. And maintain a healthy diet.
Yeah, I was tired. Yes, I had maybe not had enough sleep the night before, not the best sleep or whatever, and I did come to work and I felt absolutely shattered, and that was within 2 or 3 hours of starting work. And what I did then is I actually came here, and this is before we had electronic fatigue breaks and things like that, and I just parked the truck up. Yes, I did have a sleeper cab at the time, and I jumped in the cab. I set my alarm on the phone, and I gave myself a 30-minute break, and I jumped in the back and crashed out for half an hour, and I felt really good after that. And I've told other drivers the same thing. If you can, and like even worse comes to this sort of scenario, we're in where we've got couches or things like that. If you haven't got a sleeper cab, get out of the cab, put your feet up here, and grab half an hour. You know, no one's going to say no.
Drinking coffee, trying all that sort of thing. Wash your face, stop and wash your face. But the best is sometimes actually just to take a break, but get out of the truck, walk around. I used to walk around and around the truck, you know, wash my face, that sort of thing. But you have to have adequate sleep. If you haven't, it's one thing to have break time, but you actually have to you should have 8 hours sleep, you know.
I try to have a nap, but if I can't nap, then I'll just go for a walk around the truck, or just walk out, you know, and just keep moving, just to keep myself going, you know. And then I get back in the truck and I'm good to go. Good music, a good night's sleep. But I know a lot of us have coffees, you know, we're on their coffee buzz. So if I really want to get going, I listen to rap, Australian rap, bloody oath.
Usually just listening to the radio, put the aircon on so you're not sort of in a comfortable environment. And mate, sometimes it takes some idiot on the road to cut you off or nearly hit you for it to wake you up, in all honesty. What I usually do now, if I know I'm sort of going into that sort of autopilot stage, anticipating, you know, what the idiots around you are going to do next, checking your mirrors, and I find that usually gives you a bit of a kick in the arse for a good half an hour, and then, yeah, just try and repeat the process.
Remember, fatigue is silent and insidious, and the best approach is to manage your well-being in and out of the workplace. And if you do recognise any of the warning signs, stop driving.